Hello, welcome back. I'm Jennifer Thompson.
And I'm Chad Thompson.
And this is season 7
of The Premise.
Where we get to the story behind the storyteller. We've got some amazing authors lined up for you this season. And guess what? The San Diego Writers Festival is coming up in just a couple months, folks. It's March 28th at the Coronado Public Library. It's free to everyone. And this year's keynote is Jodi Picoult. So make sure and mark your calendars. We'll see you there. And for The Premise, we've just got an amazing lineup of people who are going to talk about storytelling and writing and publishing and just,
And cars.
And cars and pasta. So stay tuned. And be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Italian cars. Italian pasta.
Hello and welcome to The Premise. I'm Jennifer Thompson.
And I'm Chad Thompson.
And today we have in with us a very exciting author who I happened to meet randomly. I went to her book signing, which was in Del Mar, Camino Books.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I'm really excited to jump into this book, folks. So this is Katie Brooks. Welcome to The Premise.
Thank you for having me.
Live and in person.
Exactly. I know. I'm so excited. It's Buona Pasta is the name of the book. Fresh pasta made easy with or without a machine. And we tested this theory, folks. Chad and I did this. And
with machines.
Well, yes, we did. You're right. We used machines.
I am not flattening pasta by hand.
Okay, so I just have to say we used a KitchenAid and we have the adapter and we've owned it. Well, we went to Italy a couple years ago. And of course you come back from Italy and you're like, I'm going to make pasta.
Yep.
And then you just straight up don't do that because you think to yourself, oh my God.
Yeah.
Intimidating. This isn't going to go well. It's going to be a mess. It's not going to taste good. It's going to take me 8 hours. So we never did it. So after I saw you speak, I went to the store and I bought the things. I bought your book.
Yep. Thank
you. I went to the grocery store. And the funny thing about this is I'm walking around the grocery store with this book in my hands and it's open to the recipe I want to make. And so many people were like, oh, what are you doing? Like, what are you making? Is that pasta? And I was like, I had these great conversations. I'm like, can I take a picture of it? I was like, yeah. So we bought the stuff, or I bought the stuff, came home. And we pulled out our old machine that we'd never used. And it was so much fun to watch it flatten pasta. Mm-hmm. It's going through the machine. It's getting flatter. I'm like, oh my God, it's working.
Yep.
It was so cool. Okay.
So exciting.
It's so exciting and delicious.
And I have a lot of people who comment saying, I have this pasta machine. I don't know how to use it. Or I have a manual machine. I've never even taken it out of the box, And that's why I wanted to include all ways of making pasta so that, no judgment on if you want to use a machine and also if you only have a rolling pin or even a wine bottle.
Or if you're on a plane.
Yes, exactly.
Which we will get to. All right, I've jumped way ahead. So I want to read Katie's bio. Katie Brooks is the creator of Buona Pasta Club, a pasta-loving community named after her parents' pasta shop, where she shares the simplicity of the pasta-making process, replacing intimidation, which she really does well, with inspiration and helping others get the courage to start making pasta at home. Katie started out her pasta business in 2020. That's quite the year to start a new business, making and delivering fresh pasta around San Diego, and now hosts pasta making parties and workshops, both locally and online. Katie recently published a cookbook, her first cookbook, Buona Pasta. Fresh pasta made easy with or without a machine. To put all her pasta knowledge in one place, creating the perfect beginning guide to making fresh pasta and simple sauces at home. So thank you. Thank you for making this book.
Yes.
And thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So I guess we have to there's so many places I want to go with your story, but I guess I want to go to your childhood. Tell us about your earliest memories of eating and making pasta.
So my earliest memories, the closest ones to my heart, is just every Easter, my family gets together, all the women around the table, and makes homemade ricotta-filled ravioli. We make over 300 ravioli. We have a big family. And, my grandmom taught who is in the cookbook with her meatball recipe at the head of the table, you know, telling us everything to do. My first position in the pasta making family tradition is the hand crank. So basically the youngest would flatten all the pasta with the hand crank, and then we, you know, pass each sheet around the table. We have a big spoon to scoop the ricotta, put it right on there. We flip over the sheet at the end, and we just cut it out with a cookie cutter. So super simple, super basic. And then we go around it with a fork. So that is my favorite memories. That's what kind of fueled my love for pasta. In addition to that, I grew up every Thursday having pasta night with my immediate family, which I still do now. My brother lives in San Diego, so he comes over, and I have him, my husband, and I have a pasta night every Thursday. So.
Awesome. What did you make last Thursday?
Let's see. Well, my parents were in town last month.
Nice.
So it got all moved around, but I made, I had guanciale in the fridge. So I made like a traditional Alfredo with guanciale.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds delicious.
So good with spaghetti.
And I want to go back to the ricotta. So you made the ricotta as well.
Yes. So I make ricotta. That's one of my favorite like new recipes that I learned. My husband and I love it. And if you ever have bought ricotta in the store, sometimes you can have like a grainy consistency. There's certain ones that are super smooth and very similar to homemade, but homemade ricotta is like nothing else. And it is just so smooth and creamy, and it's so fresh tasting. I can just eat it by the spoonful. And yeah, that's one of my...
It sounds daunting, I'm going to say, making cheese.
It's tedious.
Okay.
A lot of stirring.
Oh, okay.
But it's easy.
So can you like give us a quick rundown?
Yeah. So you fill a big pot with whole milk, and you get that milk up to, I think it's 200 degrees. That's the hardest part, is getting it up to temperature without like
going
burning it or
Got
anything.
yeah.
So you're constantly stirring. So it's whole milk and heavy cream. And then once you get it up to temperature, you turn the heat off and immediately put in white vinegar and salt. Stir it quickly, and then it will start curdling immediately. You leave it for 10 minutes, and then that ricotta is basically removed from the liquid, and then you have the whey. And then the ricotta, and then you just basically, I just strain it with a slotted spoon over a big mesh strainer, let the whey come through, which you can use for other recipes. And then I usually, you can just eat it right there. It's a little warm right then, but stick in the fridge, I put it in like a nice mesh kind of bag that I have to let the remaining water strain out of it. And you can do that for a couple hours and it'll still be nice and creamy. You can do it like overnight. If I want to use it for ravioli and I need a super dry ricotta, then you can let it go for like 12 hours and then it'll be more crumbly. So.
Okay. So this sounds like paneer, because my husband, this man here, Chad Thompson. Hi.
Hello.
He makes paneer, and that's the same process.
The only difference is I press it.
Yeah. It's super similar to like so many cheeses.
Wow.
And
yeah.
So
it's easy. It's just tedious.
yes.
Patience.
Yep.
Patience, my love.
I usually make a big batch of it. That's why.
I am so excited to try that.
Yeah.
So we made raviolis. We did 2 dishes. And oh my gosh, I should have written down the names of the dishes, because I'm totally drawing a blank on it.
I think you made the
It had
spicy
pepperoncini in it.
Yep.
Yes.
So diavolo.
Yes, that's what it was. Yes.
Creamy diavolo.
Which was so delicious. but it was definitely like a lot more time consuming to make ravioli.
Yeah.
So the first one we did, we like cut it in little squares, and they were so light and delicious. I couldn't believe it. I was like, and it took like, well, we did the food processor.
Okay. Yep.
So see if I get this right. 1 cup flour.
Yep.
2 eggs. Drop it into the food processor with a little bit of salt if you want, but you don't have to.
Yep.
As you said in a video I watched recently. And I just turned on the food processor, and all of a sudden it was like dough, and I was like, oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Like that's it.
It's so quick in the food processor.
I was stunned.
Yeah.
And then we just like, and I didn't do it right. And I think this is really interesting because I just watched your video and you were talking about, okay, you can stop now and you can make the pasta and it's good. And it was really good. And it was light. It was amazing. And you're like, but if you want to knead it out and go a little, deeper into the process, it's even better. And I was like, oh my God. So yeah, then we just like pressed it down and we just kept putting it through the machine and it just getting thinner and thinner and thinner, which was such a fun process because you start it like wide and then you look each time you like bring it through, you make the space that you're running it through a little bit narrower
and it looks more and more like pasta.
And all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I'm making pasta.
Yep.
It was cool.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I mean, I'm such a fan, and I just want to tell our listeners too, like, do go to her YouTube channel. You have so many great videos. Can we talk about your kitchen, your YouTube kitchen?
Yeah.
Can you just tell us about the space?
Yeah. So in my house, we have a breakfast nook.
I knew it.
And, it's funny because everyone's like, oh, if I had a big kitchen, I'd make pasta too. And I'm like, this little nook is probably 3x3. Maybe it's 4x4. And I just have a big table, which I got on, Facebook Marketplace because my kitchen does not have any surfaces. So I got this amazing, almost like workshop table, which I make pasta on, wooden. And then I have, all my pasta stuff around it. And in back of me, I have like not a cork board, but a peg board. And I never knew what to do with it. But my favorite restaurant in San Diego for homemade pasta is Corey, Pastificio. And of course, he was the chef, and he showed us around his kitchen, and he had this pegboard with all his pasta tools on it. And I was like,
you're like, I have a pegboard.
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah. Now I know what to do with it. Oh, wow. So yeah, I have all my pasta tools on that pegboard, all my ingredients. We have like nice big shelving. It's where I keep every pasta item, cooking item, and then I've just like kind of added to it little by little. And it's just so perfect. It's such a cute little pasta nook, which is what I call it.
I think what I like most about it is it's like, it's true to your mission. Like you don't need a big fancy kitchen, folks. I'm in a small breakfast nook.
Yep.
And you've got, and I watched a bunch of videos and I noticed how it was evolving over time. And like, at one point there was a record player behind you, which I was like, that is so cool. And I can just imagine like old Italian records playing while you're drinking your Chianti and making your pasta. But it's such a cute space, but it's tiny.
Yeah. Very tiny.
And that's the point.
Exactly.
Very homey.
You don't need much.
So what's the number one thing people say to you after they've taken a class or watched a video? What do you hear the most?
I mean, after my class, in my cookbook, I say, before every class or workshop, I say, the best thing that's going to happen today is we're going to make pasta. And the worst thing that's going to happen today is we're going to make pasta. And that is really what happens. Everyone after each class, after each workshop, they're like, oh my gosh.
It worked.
I can't believe it. Like halfway through, they're like, I feel like my dough is too dry or it's too sticky or whatever, all depends on the moisture in your air or your environment. So I'm just like, don't worry. Have faith, we're gonna get through. And then at the end, they're just completely blown away. And that's what my favorite thing is about my job and about this whole, journey that I've been on is how excited everyone is after they've made that pasta that they never thought they could.
Yeah.
So
It's contagious, I'm sure.
It is. Yep.
But you're right. Like, it always works out.
Always.
You always end up with pasta. And I'm going to like really follow and see how much better it is.
Oh, yeah. The more you do it, the easier it is, the better it is. So pasta takes practice. So,
like many things in life.
yes.
Let's talk about the science of making pasta, because, reading your book and just right now you were talking about the temperature, like that'll make a difference. When did you start like getting into the science of it?
So when I first made pasta, back home on the East Coast, I'm from the East Coast, it has more humidity in the air. If you make it in the summertime, there's even more humidity. But coming from the East Coast to the West Coast, and San Diego specifically, is super dry. So I found that my recipe was a little too dry. And I also was teaching pasta at the time, and my family recipe was, I have it all written down, but it was a little intimidating. It was like, 1 1/4 this, and, like not perfectly, easy to remember and just simple. So I was like, you know what, let me take a little of this flour out, because I am from San Diego, making pasta in San Diego, and it's dry. So I could use the extra moisture. So I kind of came up with this recipe of just, half a cup of flour, 1 egg. I nixed the salt because you really only need the salt when you're cooking the pasta.
Yeah.
My family recipe does add the salt, but just to make it even more simple and just be like 2 ingredients, people love that. People are like, oh, I can do it. That's all I need. So yeah, I kind of worked my recipe to be as simple and easy to remember, easy for me when I'm in a workshop, and be like, just a half a cup of flour and water. If you're making semolina dough, just a half a cup of flour and an egg. If you're making egg dough, 1 egg per serving. It's so much easier to remember, and it's less intimidating for people to have such a simple recipe.
And it as we said before, it does work out.
Yeah.
We didn't do salt because we were following the cookbook.
Yep.
And this salted water really made it salty. I felt like it had the perfect amount.
Yep.
So when I saw your video, I was like, oh, she's putting salt in there. And I'm starting to get it. You can do whatever you want.
Totally.
Explain to me the difference between this 00 flour and then, like, what is semolina?
So semolina is a durum wheat flour, so completely different type of wheat, whereas 00 is a white flour, so super comparable to all-purpose flour, which you can totally use when you're making pasta. Another thing that I tell people,
don't worry,
just have all-purpose, just use that, whatever. So 00 is extra fine, so it's super, super fine, and it just produces a lighter, more delicate pasta that you want for, those super, like tagliatelle and the fettuccine that lays like ribbons. Like you just want a very delicate pasta.
Yeah.
And then semolina is a durum wheat flour, which is the same flour that's used in pretty much any pasta that's dried and sold in the supermarket. A lot of people, I get so many comments when I make the semolina and water flour that they're like, you have to add the egg. You're missing the egg. And it's like, have you ever looked at the boxed pasta that you've made?
Yeah.
It just is semolina flour.
And water.
And water.
Wow.
And that's all it is. And durum wheat semolina has a lot more minerals and nutrients and protein in it. So a lot of people think without the egg, it doesn't have protein, but it has protein. It actually is a super, super healthy pasta. So that's another thing people are like, oh, it's missing everything. And it's like, no, it's actually really good for you.
Well, here's the thing that I found fascinating. When we went to Italy, we don't really eat pasta in our house, if you want to know the truth.
Yeah.
Before I met Chad, I made pasta occasionally. I make a great Alfredo sauce. And Chad's like, yeah, I don't really eat pasta. And I was like, what? But I was like, you know what? Okay, fine. It's better for me. It always makes me feel icky.
Yeah.
But we're in Italy, so of course we're going to eat pasta. And never once did I feel icky or heavy. And I was like, why is this happening?
Yep. It's the quality of the flour, and also no additives in it.
Right.
And also dried pasta that is produced in America, or anywhere really outside of Italy, is dried very quickly and in order to get more product on the shelves, and it shocks the gluten. And so the gluten being shocked and not having the ability to slowly dry, which in Italy, it's like over a course of days.
Oh, wow.
Instead of over a course of hours. So that gluten being shocked, that's what causes inflammation. So a lot of people who think that they have gluten intolerance because of something, it's really just the quality and the preparation of, the drying process of the pasta that they're eating. So
Wow. Okay.
And so many people say, "Oh, I went to Italy and I had no issues."
No
It's
issues.
like, yeah,
That's
no.
exactly what happened to us.
Yep.
Yeah. You were talking about a meat earlier, the pork.
Guanciale.
Guanciale.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we did make carbonara when we got back from Italy. We're like, we're going to make this dish.
Yep.
It was so good. So how do you make pasta that has the hole in the center? I forget what
So
that's called.
bucatini.
Bucatini, yes.
So bucatini is in the cookbook, and that you do need an extruder.
Okay.
So for your KitchenAid, you have the flattener attachment, but you can also get the extruder attachment. And
That sounds insane.
yeah. So the difference with egg dough being super delicate, semolina dough is super bouncy. So semolina is much better for hand forming your pasta, which kind of like you drag it over a texture and it bounces back, or an extruder. So you put your semolina dough into an extruder, it goes through, it gets like, and it has this like windy thing and gets pushed through a metal disc, and then you cut it off. It's like kind of those satisfying videos that you watch where, and so semolina dough is way better for extruding because
Nice.
of that bounciness. It can hold up.
Okay. Well, that was going to be one of my questions. Like, does it matter which, type of dough I use to make different pastas?
Yeah. So, I mean, you could totally do it. But the consistency of the dough is just so much better.
Right.
Egg dough, flattened, stretched, it's way more pliable, and then delicate. So it lays like those ribbons. Whereas semolina, bouncier, it's much better and easier to hand form it. Whereas if you hand form an egg pasta, which you can, there's some cavatellias with egg and ricotta, but it just doesn't have that bounciness. It doesn't have like the almost like fluffy pasta that like bounces back after you drag it.
Nice. What is your favorite pasta to make?
I love agnolotti.
Okay, what is that?
So agnolati's in the book also. That's like one of my favorite shapes. I think I really love a filled pasta. I love ricotta filled pasta. Just from growing up with ricotta filled pasta, it's like my number one thing. I grew up loving tortellini, but then agnolotti was my first pasta that I made that is so cute, and it's just like a little pillow filled with ricotta, and it's delicious. It's fun to make and fun to eat.
Well, and that's just it, right? Like different pastas have personality, it almost seems like.
Yeah.
I'm looking through the cookbook right now because I really want to find this recipe that we made, our first one. It was almost like, it was the egg pasta. It was like torn pieces.
Oh, okay.
Did it have a bunch of mushrooms in it?
Oh, yeah. The
It has mushrooms in it.
fazzoletti.
It was,
They're like,
yeah.
It's in the beginning.
I just found it.
Perfect.
I just landed on it.
That's one of my favorite recipes in the book.
So good. And it was so easy to make. Okay, fazzoletti in a wild mushroom sauce with ricotta. If your mouth is watering, it should be. This was, hey now, this is not an ASMR podcast, folks. Although it could be if we keep talking about food. This was so easy to make, but I think the pasta was so easy to make. And I'd never tasted pasta that was so delicate and buttery and like just like perfectly, I don't know, it sort of just melted in your mouth. And then the mushroom sauce was very simple and really easy to make. And mushrooms just carry their own. And then if we had homemade ricotta, I mean, I want to make it again.
You have
I'm going to make it again. I sent you a photo and I will put this on our Instagram.
And it looked incredible. That photo looked like the pasta looks beautiful too.
I did it.
Yeah.
And I didn't even need it.
That's amazing.
I just like, I was really worried about touching it too much because, with like a lot of pie crusts and stuff.
Yeah, and it's fine. Like that dough can be beat up. Like you're supposed to, the kneading process is what activates the gluten, gives you the stretchiness. It's a lot of people think that they can over knead it like with bread or something, and you really can't. Like I've done so much research on this just to make sure I'm like being accurate, but when you if you knead it for some recipes say knead it for 20 minutes. So you're just getting it more stretchy, more bouncy. And then you rest it, and then that gluten that's activated has a chance to, just relax, which is needed to roll it out.
So the subtitle of the book really begs the question, made easy with or without a machine. And we used machines. So our listeners are probably like, well, you used a machine.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Like, okay, first of all, where's the craziest place you've made pasta?
Well, on an airplane.
I knew the answer to that, but she did. Tell us about it. Yeah.
So, I do have a series that I have been doing. Honestly, my husband and I really love camping. So I have photos from back in like 2017 of us making homemade pasta at the campsite and me kneading the dough with the desert background. I think we were in Anza-Borrego. And so that my whole thing is like, you can do it anywhere. All it takes is 2 ingredients. Like we just brought our wooden cutting board. I just kneaded the dough, and we had a van at the time, and I brought my manual machine, which you don't need, power to plug it in or anything. So
the crank came in handy
exactly
from your childhood.
Exactly. So I have this, I started out doing that just because I thought it would be fun on a camping trip, making homemade pasta, because I just am obsessed with homemade pasta, clearly. And, so I just kept doing that in every different like place that we were in, Zion, in the Tetons, in Anza-Borrego, in anywhere like Sierra Mountains. So I was like, this is the perfect way to show people that it's so easy, it's simple, you can do it anywhere. So I just kind of do that for fun, and because we're already going these places, I'm like, I'm going to make pasta at the beach,
Nice.
So, then I
know my son. Oh boy, that could go badly very quickly.
So I was flying home for, I think it was last summer, and I had points, so I got a first class ticket. And I was like, whatever, I'm gonna get first class.
Use those points.
Yeah,
they're not gonna throw you out of first class for making pasta.
I wasn't sure. But
Coach, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I knew I would have a lot of space, but my friend Dallas, who, she lives in San Diego with me. She did. Now she's on the East Coast. But so she was my like pasta tester. I always be down to eat some pasta if I needed to, but she was
like that'd be an easy friend to find.
Yes.
Who wants to be my taster?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah.
She did a lot of tasting. Her and my other friend Janelle, who are in San Diego, they did a lot of taste testing for me for this book. So, but yeah, she was like, oh my gosh, you have first class tickets. You should make pasta on the plane. I was like, what? Oh my gosh, I should.
That's awesome.
So I brought all this stuff. And I was like, okay, we'll see. I had first class there and back.
Wait, were you by yourself or did you have
by
someone
myself?
With you? Really? Mm-hmm. And you filmed it?
Yeah.
I'm so impressed.
The filming was a little wonky because I was just like, it was just me. I'm embarrassed to film in public. I'm still at that, like, oh, I don't want anyone to see me, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like being super discreet about it. Like the flight attendants had no idea I was doing it. I kept looking at them when they'd come around to see if they'd notice. And they didn't. They just were, you know, do you want some wine? Do you want this? Like, whatever.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So did you like pre-measure the flour or did you?
I've done this so many times that I didn't measure anything. You
just pulled it out of
a bag of flour. Yeah. I brought this like kind of a plate that has really high sides, so it's like kind of a bowl plate, but it has a nice flat surface,
so it can do double duty.
Yes, okay. Exactly.
Smart.
So I brought that, a bag of fine semolina flour, and I didn't want to do an egg pasta on the plate. I was like, this is too messy.
That makes sense.
So and so you'll know, like, once you make semolina pasta, the egg pasta is a little messy with the dough. The semolina pasta is more like Play-Doh. So it's just like, it just doesn't really stick to you as much as the egg does. So I knew that I could get through this on the airplane.
Eventually it all becomes one mass, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
I watched you do it blindfolded too.
Yeah.
I was like, yes. I love this woman so much.
I'm like, I am going to prove to you, you can do this. So I just asked for a glass of water on the plane, and I made my little well of flour, poured the pasta in. You know, I can tell the consistency that it needs. It's very much about the feel. So I, just kneaded it. So let it rest and rolled it out. And the woman next to me.
And you rolled it out too. You actually made pasta, not just dough.
No.
This woman's like, what is happening?
She was asleep.
Oh, good.
And then she woke up for a little, and I was like, hey, just so you know, like, I'm gonna make pasta. She couldn't care less. She's like, okay.
Just leave me alone, let me sleep.
Weirdo. So
awesome.
Yeah.
So then you run the risk of it getting dry.
Yeah.
So how did you keep it moist?
What I do is, like, I have my my plastic bag that I bring the flour in, and then I brought another little one and I put the dough in there. So when I rest it, you just make sure and cover the dough with anything.
That was a big step.
Yeah, big step is to keep it covered, keep the hydration inside and at room temperature so that it can stay relaxed, stay really, pliable.
You want it to chill out.
Yeah, you just want it to chill.
You don't want it to be stressed out.
So
flying's already stressful.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, totally.
This was like relaxing. It was like, okay. But yeah, I just kind of tested the situation. I was like, wow, this lady is sleeping. I've got this perfect. I was in the front row.
Drinking a glass of wine.
Yeah. It was like an early flight too. It was like probably 9 a.m. But I'm like, I still need wine.
That is a very integral part of the process. That is awesome. Okay, so didn't this video go viral?
Yeah, so this last time it did. So I actually posted this video last summer, and I was just like, POV, making pasta on an airplane, whatever. It went fine, like my usual. But then I posted it more recently. I think it was in September, and it was just a random, I was just like, okay, what's a good TikTok to post? So I posted on TikTok.
Okay.
With a funny text on screen, since that really is what you need to get attention on TikTok. You need to like blow people's minds or make people annoyed or whatever. So this did both. And
of course it did.
Yes.
And the hate comments poured in.
Oh, did they?
Did they really?
Oh my gosh.
People will hate on anything, Jennifer. Have you not been on the internet?
So mad.
I mean, how can you be? Okay, so what? Like
people get so mad about pasta. It's so funny. And everyone's like, oh, do you get upset? Do you like? I'm like, they're mad at my pasta. Like I know whatever. My pasta's good, so they don't know what they're talking about.
This is a personal problem they have with pasta.
Exactly.
How could you not add salt?
Yeah, there's a lot of controversial
So that was probably helpful because then
Yeah.
the more comments, the more the algorithms favor it.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Oh, yeah. And I had no idea. I was just posting it for fun. I didn't think it was going to even do anything. I was honestly posting it because it saves my camera roll and then I can post it on Instagram. So I was just doing a little fun, whatever. And then I saw that it was kind of like doing well. I was like, okay, I'm getting a lot of comments. And then I got an email saying that they saw my article on people.com, like people. And that's when I found
friends
out.
were telling you like you're mentioned on people.com.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, like the Drew Barrymore show reached out to me and that Monday after I posted it and they were like, oh, we saw your pasta video from People article. And I was like, what?
Mind blown.
Yeah.
That's
how I found out that it was doing well.
So then they mentioned it. So Drew Barrymore showed the video.
Yep.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. That's all it takes, folks.
Yeah, it
One
is.
thing.
Yeah.
I think this is a really good transition, even though I really want to keep talking about making pasta. Chad said, hey, can we have her make pasta and like film it? And I was like, she's got so many videos. She doesn't need to make more pasta for us. But I kind of wish we were. But let's talk about...
We could do a pasta making.
But where are you going to make it next?
Right here in the podcast room, folks. Right. I think we need to talk about the book making process.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, first of all, it's a gorgeous book. Photography is fantastic.
Thank you.
Just beautiful. The cover's got 3 different types of pasta. And just looking at it, I'm like, oh, that looks so hard. But as I know, it's actually not.
Yeah. And shout out to my photographer because she absolutely killed it, made the book beautiful. Arlene Ibarra, like, she is my good friend too.
That's cool.
Incredible food photographer in San Diego. So it was obvious that I would ask her to do this. She was also my wedding photographer. We flew her out to the East Coast too.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So like you really are friends.
Yeah.
You just
Great
happen to know a food photographer. Okay. That's cool.
Yep.
So how did the process, like how did it come about that did you know you were going to make a cookbook? Like was this in your plans?
Okay. No. So Page Street Publishing, my publisher, who I absolutely love. They were incredible, super small publishing house in Salem, Massachusetts, but they work with Macmillan, a larger publisher. So they were amazing. They reached out to me. At the time I was filming the online courses that I now have on my YouTube. So that was a lot of work. I bet. I just like wasn't ready to like even think about a cookbook.
So you're like, no.
So they reached out to me and it was just not even anything I thought of doing. And I was interested. So I was like, I would love to talk to you. I'm definitely not ready right now, but could you kind of tell me about the process? And the reason I love them so much and that I went with them, I was like, so I got onto a phone call with Sadie, my manager, and she was incredible. And she explained the entire process if they did the publishing. And she explained the entire process if I did the publishing, which I thought was so cool. I was like, you're taking an hour out of your day to like, have this call with me and explain
your options.
The options and what would be best for me. And so when I got off the call, I was like, well, if I do a cookbook, I'm going to do it with them. Nice. They're amazing.
Yeah.
And so I think I followed up with them maybe like 6 to 9 months later and was like, okay, or maybe they followed up with me. I forget. And I was like, okay, I'm ready to talk about a cookbook. At the time I was like, oh, this sounds awesome. Like obviously I know a lot goes into a book, but oh my gosh, it was a lot of work.
I wanted to ask, like, how long did it take?
So all the pasta part of it, I've already had, those are my recipes that I've kind of created and then modified and just perfected. So all of those were done, but deciding what recipes and sauce recipes I could pair with it was definitely just to make sure there's so many options, and I just wanted a little of each thing. But yeah, it took me about, probably 9 months. I submitted everything last year at this time. And I think I started it around like March.
That's impressive, actually.
Yeah.
That's a pretty quick process.
Yeah, I know. It was quicker than...
It came out in November?
And it came out in November 4th. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's such a great book. And it's so, and it's, you know what, like, it's cute.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
It's not overwhelming. Like, we've got this big book. We've got a lot of big cookbooks.
Yeah.
But I love that, you know, it's more about learning how to make pasta, but the recipes are great.
Yeah.
Like, for example, the one we made, what's it called?
Diavolo, which means devil.
I figured it means devil. So it was like this creamy tomato sauce with pepperoncinis, which was such a great idea.
Yeah.
And it just gave it this like bite, which I loved. I was like, oh my gosh. And the pasta, or not the pasta, the tomato paste, just a little bit of that out of this richness. So, I mean, it's cool to like start small and not overwhelm people. Was that your intention?
Yes, very much. I wanted, especially with Italian cooking, it's like as long as you have good quality ingredients, which is like a whole section of the book is talking about the ingredients that I use all the time and why it's so important to use like Parmigiano Reggiano instead of a Parmesan, because then you don't get the creamy consistency that you need for like an Alfredo. But yeah, just explaining the difference with using fresh ingredients and good quality ingredients. You don't even need that much of them. Like some of these recipes that I have in there is like just a couple ingredients and they're so delicious. And those are my favorite recipes to make myself. I don't like a recipe that has a laundry list of ingredients. It intimidates me. So I like doing those simple sauces.
How many nights a week would you say you make pasta?
Now it's probably
now that
like,
you're not making the cookbook.
Yeah.
Just Thursdays.
Yeah. So probably like 2 days a week. I have like a Tuesday night that I get together with my girlfriends, and I usually bring pasta for that, especially when we were making the cookbook. I had so much pasta to bring on Tuesdays. And then Thursday I have it with my husband and my brother. Before, like when I was first starting out, because I just love it so much, I was making so much pasta and we were eating so much pasta. My husband had never experienced homemade pasta until we started dating. So he loved it also, but then he started getting sick of it because I was making this like 4 times a week.
He's like, okay, babe, come on.
He's like, I love this, but like I can't eat it this much, you know? He could eat that many burritos and tacos because growing up in San Diego, and I can eat pasta every day of my life. So
it's what you know, I guess.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The burritos are why I'm still here.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Chad would never leave San Diego. We actually did. We moved to Portland.
It was hell.
There
were no burritos.
We spent a whole year trying to find the best burritos. And we finally just started making our own.
Jennifer flew back from conventions with burritos to Portland.
I love
for
that.
Me.
Yeah. I would go to our favorite places if I happened to be at a conference or something here.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
I do that with Philly cheesesteaks.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but now you can have that stuff delivered.
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
I know.
Gold Belly.
Yeah, Gold Belly.
Oh, that's so funny. Yes.
Speaking of Gold Belly and David Chang, we're just going to go there.
Yeah.
So in 2020, you won a contest.
Yes.
Which you didn't get a go on.
I didn't.
Because it got canceled. That sort of broke my heart because David Chang is one of my favorite chefs. And I love Momofuku. And I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. And like, and it got canceled.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about the contest and what that was about. And
yeah, that was really, it's funny. I like hardly even think of that anymore.
Right.
But it was such a huge thing. Like that was the first big thing that was like kind of what made me realize, oh, okay, you know, I could do more with this company. I could like, you know, have a company. I could make pasta full time. So that, it was an Airbnb 100 cooks. It was their first and only so far because it got canceled. And it was 100 cooks, like home chefs around the world, that got chosen out of however many worldwide. And
how did you submit? Was it like a video or a recipe?
So my husband
Yeah.
found it, and he submitted my story.
Oh.
And I didn't even know.
Behind your back?
Yes.
So cool.
Yeah.
Good job, Hunter.
Yeah. I know. That it was amazing. It was incredible. He submitted my grandmom's like sauce and ricotta ravioli recipe, because that's like our family recipe that, you know, we make every single year. Super like,
And that's in the book.
and my Tots spaghetti and meatballs is in the book.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And
So grandma's okay with that recipe out there.
yes.
Grandma
yes,
Tot.
yes.
Some grandmas, not so much.
Yeah. Grandma Tot is not around anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But she lived until 99 years old.
Oh my God.
So
it's the pasta, folks.
It was the pasta. Yes. And she was the strongest, most amazing woman. Me and my grandma Tot were like so close. So like, and I dedicated the book to her. So
Aw,
like that's
yeah.
one of the pages in there. But so he submitted this story. And I got through to the first round, and that's when he told me, he was like, "Oh my gosh, you got."
You're like, what?
Yeah. So then I actually got selected out of 100 people. I just still remember I was working at Roadrunner Sports at the time, and I was like at my desk, and I got this email that I got selected to go to Italy, you know, my favorite place.
Holy cow.
Learn
And you
from
immediately
David
quit.
Chang.
Like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'm like, bye. Sorry.
I hope so. Well, you gave him notice because you're a good person.
Yeah. So yeah, that happened. And at the time, I kind of knew about I knew that COVID was
coming.
happening.
Yeah.
Because
Well, what month was that?
that was January, February.
Oh, wow.
Time frame.
2020. So really early.
Really early.
Yeah.
And like no one, I don't think they were talking about it here, but like we watch a lot of YouTube and we like saw it, we heard it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to have it in the back of my mind that something could happen, and I might not be able to go. So I at least had that.
You were prepared.
I was prepared. I like prepared myself, and that happened, and it got canceled.
It's just so sad. You were going to go to Italy with David Chang and his mom.
Yeah.
And make your recipe.
Yeah. It was like,
Have you ever thought about reaching out to him and being like, dude,
I've tagged him
Okay.
before.
Yeah.
You know, he's got so many. Like, I'm sure he doesn't see these notifications.
that's true.
But
That's true.
yeah, I like want to.
I feel like that's going to happen for you, though. Like something's going to give.
Something. I hope so. You know,
David,
full
if you
circle.
hear us,
Yeah.
you have a date in
Yes.
the future with Miss Katie Brooks. Just saying.
He's
Yes.
too busy trying to sell microwave bowls.
I know,
He
right?
does do a lot of, yeah.
He's like all over the place now, but we're huge fans.
Yeah. Same.
Okay, we're running out of time, and I had so many questions I
know.
wanted to ask
There's
you.
a lot.
I guess I want to talk about Buona Pasta Club.
Yes.
And what that means to you, and what it should mean to our listeners, and how to really follow you and like join the
Pasta Club.
adventure. Yeah,
Yeah.
join the Pasta Club. Yeah,
Exactly. So my husband and I started our Instagram back in like 2017, and it was just to share photos of the pasta that we were making, because I introduced him to homemade pasta and was like, oh, let's make every shape that we can, you know, that's where Agnolotti
And
came.
document it. Yeah.
So, and at the time I was not into social media.
Wait, can we stop a minute?
Yeah.
Did you say that's where Agnolotti? Did you come up with a new pasta shape?
No, like
okay.
we were learning all different shapes, and that's how we were like, whoa, we love this pasta shape. So we kept making agnolotti.
Okay, gotcha,
It was like our favorite shape to make. So we were just making as much pasta as we possibly could. And I was not into social media. I didn't know anything about photography, nothing about any of that, like posting online, hashtags, I had no clue.
Wow.
So he was filming and taking photos, and I was just making the pasta. And so we named it Buona Pasta after my parents' pasta shop.
Right. 1985 is when they opened their shop.
1985, yeah.
So cool.
So,
Yeah.
and we just were like, oh, let's name it Buona Pasta. That's cool. Not even thinking. And so when I got like 2,000 followers, I was mind blown. I was like, excuse me. I was like, what? This many people are following me? I mean, they were mostly local to San Diego. And at the time, so many people were like, oh, when can we try your pasta? When can we try your pasta? And then when the pandemic hit, I got over 100 eggs from a cafe that was going to close. And my brother called me up and was like, hey,
do you want 100 eggs?
These eggs? They're going to go to waste. No.
Oh, wow.
They were going to go to waste because the cafe had to close.
Okay.
So he's like, they need something to do with the eggs. And I was like, okay. And I had like 3 weeks off from my job because I got temporarily laid off. And it was like the next day where I got these eggs. I was like, this is a sign.
That is a sign.
Yeah.
That
and so I was
so
like,
cool.
okay, I'll take the eggs. I literally launched my LLC that like week and Buona pasta. And I made and delivered fresh pasta around San Diego for about a year and a half.
Who did you, so like, did you just say on Instagram, hey, if you want to order some pasta? Mm-hmm. Wow.
I just would do it through posts and stories. And
brilliant.
The first time I made like 60 batches over the course of 2 weeks that I was off, and like was just delivering them because I was off from work. And then I got back to work and I was doing it on the weekends. And there was a point where I kind of like burnt myself out and I stopped making pasta for myself, and I had to like kind of take a little break and figure out what I wanted to do with this.
Right.
And then I kind of started transitioning that to teaching people how to make pasta because it was so much work to make that much homemade pasta. So I was like, okay, I'm going to start teaching people how to make pasta themselves. And then I was doing that. I'm still doing that now. And that was just so fun. And it's great date nights and girls' nights and book club. And I've done so many different things. And then I kind of came to a point on Instagram where I was like, I was posting all these like elaborate pastas and trying to make content that would stand out. And it really wasn't like working. I was like, what is happening? So I randomly posted this very simple dough making video that I had actually just randomly recorded before making the pasta that I was going to post. And I posted it to this trending, relaxing audio, and it blew up. Like it probably got like 10 million views, and I got like a ton of followers, like 50,000 followers.
Dang.
And I realized I was like, ding, ding, ding. This is what people don't. And all the comments were like questions and what? This is how simple it is? Wait, you use the whole egg? Like, wait.
Right,
You know, so I had so much, also so many like tips that I could then post about because people don't know about pasta.
Wow.
So that's how the Buona Pasta Club started.
Got it.
I like removed that SD from my account because it was like no longer local.
Yeah.
It was like worldwide.
Yeah.
And in that caption that I randomly wrote, join the pasta club. And that
people are like, yes.
Yeah. People want to be a part of a club. So I was like, okay, Buona Pasta Club. That's going to be the business, the, club or the community.
Yeah.
So, and it's very uplifting. It's very inspirational. I love people telling me like, I never thought I could do this. I never thought I would ever make pasta until I found your account. And like, oh, it just makes me feel so happy. So
that's so awesome. And I can really feel it too.
Yeah.
You have so much love, and it comes through in the book. It comes through in person in your videos. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That's very cool.
It's been very fun. It's been mind blowing, but very.
And you have more books, I'm sure.
Yeah, maybe.
What's in your future? What's in our future?
I kind of want to do like a pasta in the wild type, campfire, like,
I love
easy pasta making.
Mixed with foraging.
Yes, maybe.
Why not? Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And pasta sauces?
Yes. More pasta sauces, like the ricotta and
even
those
like
type
that
of
making cheese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Very exciting. Yeah. Very exciting. Well, thank you so much for joining us on The Premise. This has been awesome.
Thank you.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, right. Me too.
Let's go make some pasta.
Yes.
All right, Katie Brooks, thank you so much for joining us here on The Premise. You can learn more about Katie at buonapastaclub.com. Please follow her on YouTube. Everything is at Buona Pasta Club. Also Instagram, TikTok, as she mentioned. She also has a Substack account. And, give her some love. Go out and get that book from your local bookseller. Again, this has been another episode of The Premise. You can visit us online at thepremisepod.com. buonapastaclub.com. Subscribe and rate or review The Premise wherever you get your podcasts. Those reviews really help us get the word out and help Katie sell more books. Subscribe, tell people about it, and you can follow me, your host, on Instagram at Jennifer Grace, or follow me on Facebook at Jennifer Thompson Consulting. Until next time, thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.